Would you welcome Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
It was always kind of like, you can do better.
You have lived the life of a few men.
This right here is Arnold Schwarzenegger. And in Arnold's life, he was Mr. Olympia 7 times, became the most famous actor in the world,
I'll be back.
best-selling author, and the governor of California.
You really know how to spice it up.
He's a 7-time Mr. Olympia.
I think one of the scariest realizations that I've had in my life is that I probably won't be able to accomplish everything that I set out to accomplish. We all run out of time at some point, and the clock is ticking. But then there's this guy who actually did it. This guy who actually did everything that he wanted to do. So today I want to ask the question, how? How was he able to do it? How was he able to fit so much into his day and his life, even when there was never enough time? One thing that I've always struggled with in life is that I want to do everything. Like, I literally want to do everything. I want to start a business. I want to learn physics. I want to play soccer. I want to play guitar. I want to write books. But there's this problem. Whenever I get to the end of my day, it always feels like I just ran out of time. I think this is a problem for a lot of people, where you have big dreams, where you have big goals, you want to do something with your life, but you just always feel like you're running out of time. Life just gets in the way, your full-time job, or your family, or the bills. Something is just always there that's making you push your dreams to the side. When Arnold first came to America, he didn't speak English. He didn't have that much money, he didn't know anyone, and yet in just a couple of years, he was able to win Mr. Olympia. And he accomplished that while at the same time running his own business, learning English, taking college classes, and writing fitness articles. Throughout Arnold's life, he was always doing multiple things, and he somehow made time for it all. But how exactly was he able to do this? Well, that's what the rest of the video is about. So this is Arnold's formula for how to accomplish everything that you want to accomplish in your life.
You have to have a goal. Now, it doesn't have to be that specific goal, but it has to have some goal.
The first thing Arnold did, probably better than anyone who I've ever learned about, is have extremely clear goals. And when I say extremely clear goals, I mean extremely clear goals.
This is why I always recommend to people, sit down, take your time, and start thinking about, why do you want to work out? What is your goal?
It can't just be something like, I want to be a bodybuilder, but it has to be something more along the lines of, by the time I'm 22, I want to be working out at Gold's Gym, ready to compete for Mr. Olympia by training this exact training regimen every single day.
You see, if you don't have a vision of where you go, and if you don't have a goal where you go, you drift around and you never end up anywhere.
But how exactly do you come up with such a specific goal? Well, let's break it down. When you're a kid, you have lots of different interests, hobbies, things that call out to you. And as you grow older, these things either materialize into the real world, into your adult life, or they kind of fade away into oblivion. For Arnold, he wanted to go to America, have lots of money, and he wanted to be surrounded by pretty girls. Now, this is what most people want out of their lives, but it's still too broad. So let's zoom in a little. At this point, Arnold is in high school and he's lifting weights, he's playing soccer, he's hanging out at the lake when he discovers a man named Reg Park. Reg Park was an English bodybuilder who was everything that Arnold wanted to be. He had lots of girls, he had lots of money, and he was able to get all of that through simply being a bodybuilder. So Arnold sees this Reg Park guy and he's like, wait, why don't I just do that? So now Arnold has a dream for his life, a way to get there, and a playbook to follow. Let's analyze that for a second. Number one, figure out what you want.
It could be, I want to impress girls. If that's your goal, so be it, but it motivates you. It could be that you're emulating a certain, bodybuilder, or a certain football player, a certain boxer, whatever it is. Have those pictures put all over the wall like I did when I was a kid.
Is it money? Is it fame? Is it women? Is it a legacy? These are very broad things, but just figure out what motivates you to move forward. 2, find a pathway to get there. What's an activity that you might be dabbling in, or maybe you're just full into it, that just consumes you? Something that you really truly enjoy, or something that fulfills you. This pathway should really call to you, otherwise you won't be able to sustain it for the long term.
You can have the best ship in the world, you can have the best airplane in the world. If the pilot or the captain doesn't know where to go, it would just drift around. It would not end up anywhere, or most likely in the wrong place.
And it really should feel like something that you're meant to do, like a destiny, something bigger than yourself. And then 3 is to find someone who has already done it and then literally copy their exact blueprint.
I put pictures of Reg Park and of Sonny Liston, of boxers and of Ali and of powerlifters and weightlifters all over my bedroom, wall.
It doesn't have to be exactly the same, but just figure out the steps that they took throughout their life and take notice of it. Keep it in your mind. Now we can move on to the actual details. Your goal has to be insanely clear.
And so I realized, what made that happen? I said, as if having the vision, having a clear vision and a clear goal, and how important that really is in life.
Arnold is notoriously known for already having lived through moments in his life because his dream was just that clear. When he became governor, he said that it had to happen because the moment was already so clear in his mind that it would be more likely for it to happen than for it to not happen. Think about by when you want to achieve your goal. When exactly will you know you've made it? And how exactly will it feel when you achieve it? Write all of this down. This is very important because when you write something down, you're taking something that's just in your head and turning it into something physically real in actual reality, even if it's just a writing on a piece of paper.
So that every day when I go to sleep, every day when I wake up, I look at those pictures and they motivate me. You need that motivation, and then therefore you have this kind of imprint in front of you all the time, and you know exactly what you're chasing.
Arnold was also known for writing his goals on sticky notes, so you can take that if you want. Then once you've written down your extremely clear goal, you simply need to put in the input that will get you that output. So for Arnold, he copied Reg Park's exact gym routine. He modified it a bit for himself, of course, but he still knew the exact steps that he needed to take every single day in order to become a bodybuilder. It was very specific. 8 sets of 10 dumbbell curls, 8 sets of 10 reps bench. There was nothing unclear about his plan. He simply had his endpoint extremely clear, and then every step along the way extremely clear as well. Being clear on what you want to achieve gives you the ability to really focus on the day-to-day actions. What exactly do you need to do every day that will actually move you forward? And Arnold knew that, but having the most clear goals doesn't automatically mean that you'll achieve them. The second key to achieving everything that you want to in your life is, and you're not gonna like this, simply to work hard.
There's no such thing as a shortcut. It's just that you have to work your ass off.
There's this quote that goes, if you want an extraordinary output, then you can't have an ordinary input. And this should really stick with you. Arnold did not just want to be a bodybuilder. He wanted to be the best bodybuilder ever.
When I talk about working your ass off, I'm not only talking about bodybuilding. Yes, I was known that everyone always said he's overtraining.
So after seeing what the other bodybuilders were doing, he simply just worked harder. Instead of working out once a day like the others, he would go and work out twice a day.
So think about that. I really literally just slept 6 hours a day, and there were 18 hours left. And I used this 18 hours to work out, to work, to train for my acting, to do all of those things.
This is going to be what allows you to have enough time in your life. And I know that sounds counterintuitive, but the truth is that 90% of people don't accomplish their goals in life. And if you want to be one of the few that actually does accomplish them, then you are going to have to work extremely hard. There is no shortcut. The more of your day that you're able to allocate towards your dreams, then the faster that you're going to be able to move towards it. And the faster that you actually reach those goals is going to be what allows you to move on to other goals. Arnold always made it his mission to just be the hardest worker. When he wasn't lifting, he was practicing his posing. And when he wasn't doing that, he was working on his bricklaying business. And when he wasn't doing that, he was studying for college. Whatever it was, Arnold simply worked harder than the people around him, and this is what allowed him to accomplish everything that he wanted to accomplish.
And I worked and I worked and I worked to make money And in 1974, I saved up enough money to buy my first apartment building.
Now, I want to stress that most people are not robots. Most people are not supposed to work 24/7 every single day. And this is Arnold included. That's why the next thing Arnold did was have phases of work. There were many phases in Arnold's life, weeks and months, where he didn't work 24/7, where instead he hung out at the beach, he went partying, he went out with girls. He had lots of phases where he wasn't completely immersed in his work and instead was enjoying the fruits of his labor. He still worked a little bit though, he still took the actions that actually moved him forward, but I just mean that he wasn't going 100% 24/7 working all the time, and he was giving his body and mind a chance to almost decompress and relax a little bit. Now in the opposite phases, Arnold really was working 24/7 all the time, 110% every single day, but what you have to realize is that your body has instincts and cycles. A lot of times when people set too rigid of a schedule for themselves, it doesn't maximize the amount of work that you're able to do, because when you need rest, when you're supposed to rest, you end up overworking. And when you're trying to rest, but your body and mind want to keep going, then you're under maximizing the amount of output that you could get there. Under maximizing? Is that a word? I don't know. The point is that by listening to your body, you're able to have phases where you can go all in and you can work all day 24/7, and then you can also have phases when you go out and party and you decompress and you relax. This will allow you to never burn out, and it's going to be what's going to keep you going in the long run. And this is Arnold's next key to success. His next key to accomplishing everything that you want to accomplish. You have to think big picture.
So 10 years from now, what do you think you'll be doing?
Well, I have not done everything that I set out to do.
And this is probably the biggest mistake that I see among a lot of people. You see, everyone has weekly goals, monthly goals, maybe even yearly goals, but very few people are thinking long term.
When you pick a goal for yourself, don't go for the little goal, go for the big goal.
Think in decades. Most people overestimate what they can get done in a year, but underestimate what they can get done in 10.
And so I just want to let people know that you don't have to go for the little things. Go for the big things, go for the stars. That's what I always did.
This is another reason why Arnold was able to have seasons of rest, because he simply was always playing the long game. He took the few simple actions that would actually move him forward every day and then just let compound interest do its thing. He focused on one goal at one time, and he wouldn't stop until that one goal was complete.
I was not interested in just becoming Mr. Austria. I wanted to be Mr. Universe, Mr. Olympia, to be the world's greatest bodybuilder.
You wanted to do it all.
He started with bodybuilding. This was his rise, and he spent around 10 years doing this until he achieved everything that he could achieve. He then moved on to his next goal, which was acting. Same exact formula. He worked insanely hard when he had projects going and made time to relax and network when he didn't. And he focused completely on this for around 20 years until he got into politics. This time he focused his entire attention on becoming the governor of California. With each of these, Arnold aimed for the highest possible goals in all of these fields, and he simply played the long game. He didn't expect immediate success in any of these fields, but he simply took the actions that he needed to take every day, and those actions just compounded over time. And the best part is that it's all connected. His documentary on lifting was what got him into movies, and his fame from movies was what was able to get him elected. Everything adds up over time, so focus on playing the long game and think big picture. Once you do this, nobody will be able to beat you. Finally, one more thing that you can take from Arnold is that he genuinely loved everything that he did.
But the other guys have a sour face. They're pissed off that they have to do another rep or another set or something. So I was turned on by that. I was excited. I couldn't wait to get to the gym.
Arnold lifted because he genuinely loved lifting. He acted because he genuinely loved acting. And he was governor because he genuinely loved helping people as governor. Steve Jobs has this quote that goes, "Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking, don't settle." Arnold believed the exact same thing, because if you love what you do, then you will be able to stick through it, even through all the hard times. And there will be hard times. But the beautiful thing about hard times is that they just make the good times feel that much better. And especially when you love what you're doing, when you love the impact that you're having, then there will be no hard time that is going to be too much for you.
I love doing it because each one of those podcasts is different.
Yes.
And it's a really great way
to promote the book.
Yeah.
Arnold is an inspiration to so many people because he did so much. He accomplished everything that he wanted to accomplish, and just like he looked at Reg Park and figured out his formula, we can now look at him. This is what all great people of history do. They study the lives of the great people before them. And now we have the opportunity to do the exact same thing. So if you can follow these principles that Arnold laid out and that he followed in his own life, then you will be able to accomplish anything that you set out to accomplish.
This is why I always smiled when I was in the gym. People always came up to me and says, "Why are you smiling? You're working out 5 hours a day." I looked forward to another 1,000 reps of sit-ups. I looked forward to another 500 pounds of leg press or squat. I looked forward to doing more and more curls until my arms fall off. Why? Because I knew that every rep that I did, and every set that I did, and more weights that I lifted, I get one step closer to turning that vision into reality.
I hope you like the new set too. I'm actually in my office now. I started a marketing company here in Omaha, Nebraska. So I don't normally do this, but I want to take a second and just tell you all how grateful I am for you guys, for the people that stick around and the people that comment on my videos. There's a couple of you that I've seen recurring, and you guys keep me going. So I appreciate that. It was really fun studying Arnold. It was also really fun making this. I had another energy drink, which I shouldn't have had because the last time I did this, I crashed. But I ended up doing it. I gotta do it. I gotta put in the hours. What can I say? What can I do? What can I say? Energy drink making me talk faster, making me rap, making me... Okay, never mind. That's it.